The DCU will overtake the MCU in the next 5 years. I bet my entire bank account on it. Sure, they failed multiple times to get their cinematic universes in order. However, with James Gunn and Peter Safran running the show, and with the MCU releasing way too many content to the point where we can barely breathe with the amount of content releasing both in theaters and in Disney+, DC has the biggest chance to dominate the superhero movie market. Listen, I love Marvel, and I still feel like they have the best comic book movies overall in terms of quality and quality, but it's no surprise that after Endgame released back in 2019, audiences feel like they have been slowly decreasing in quality. And it's no surprise that many, including myself, also feel like 2022 has been kind of the worst year so far. I'm going to give you the reasons as to why I believe the DCU will overtake the MCU. The MCU has been around since 2008 with the introduction of Iron Man and has turned that character alongside others like Captain America, Thor, the Guardians, Ant-Man, and so on into household brands to the point where they can outgrow characters like Batman and Superman. Heck, Thor Ragnarok and Guardians 2 managed to make more than the fucking Justice League back in 2017. However, since Endgame release, Marvel has lost their two pillars in the form of Iron Man and Captain America. Not to mention characters like Hulk and Thor have been handled like shit since. In addition, the Guardians seem to be having their final adventure in Guardians Volume 3. Hawkeye seems to be handing the mantle to Haley Steinfeld. Oh, and Black Widow's dead. On the other hand, due to their multiple failed attempts at a cinematic universe, DC now has yet another chance to start over and right the wrongs of the past and give us a brand new interpretation of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and so on. This honestly feels like Marvel is suffering from success because the only reason why DC has this advantage is because Marvel has been so successful that they have never needed to restart. Because of that success, DC has some of the most iconic characters in fiction to be their headliners. Meanwhile, Marvel has Captain America, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, and Shuri as their headliners. And who knows, Ant-Man might die in Quantumania, so I don't even know if I should add him onto that list. Now, I get it. You might already be thinking, what about Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Daredevil? Listen, I haven't forgot about them, relax. It's a good thing Disney managed to pull whatever dark magic they did in order to gain back those characters, because I really believe they are the golden ticket in order to compete against Supes and Batman. Spider-Man alone I think is enough to rival them. However, with the ending of No Way Home, it might be difficult to use Spidey like that anymore. Good thing Marvel has X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Daredevil. Though the issue with them is that some of them are being either rebooted or being reintroduced with new writers after a massively successful interpretation, that when someone like Daredevil and Wolverine gets their own show or movie, they will immediately be compared to their past interpretations. It has already happened with Spider-Man even before No Way Home. DC has the upper hand in that because they are rebooting from interpretations that were dealt with mixed reception. They can now completely bring new life to these heroes. Elseworlds might be the smartest thing DC has done in years. No, I'm dead serious. Not only does this keep the DC brand from becoming stale, but this can allow new flavor and voices from filmmakers and storytellers that otherwise would have never stepped foot into superhero properties. Like imagine a Steven Spielberg directed a Superman movie, or Ben Affleck directed Batman movie after not directing his DCU version. Directors like James Mangold already look to be interested in making a Swamp Thing movie. The separation between Elseworld movies like Joker and the Batman and their mainline DCU will prevent the DCU from becoming stale. Like honestly, they have the best of both worlds. You get the comic book crossovers and the big scale action with the DCU, while also getting potentially Academy Award winning movies like Joker. What Marvel can do in my opinion is just to copy them. Like if anything, create another label for them and just call them, I don't know, Marvel Cinema or some bullshit, and just make standalone movies about Iron Man dealing with his alcohol addiction, or Captain America movie about World War II or some shit. Now I know we had the first Avenger, I get it, but we can actually delve deep into the tragedies of what war can actually do to somebody in a Captain America movie and actually go in depth with it instead of having, the first Avenger. And who knows, maybe we can get like a T'Challa or T'Chaka Black Panther movie set entirely in Wakanda. If I was Feige, I would start with characters that already passed away like Iron Man or Cap, or characters that they wouldn't normally use like Nova. Hell, if anything, they don't even need to go the Elseworlds route like DC. They can just do high budget animated movies. Like Disney has Pixar and Disney Animation. They can easily make animated movies. The DCU so far is all about quality, not quantity. That is what the new DC film slate tells me about how they're approaching their new cinematic universe, which ironically enough is how Marvel Phase 1 and 2 were before they began to sprint for the finish line in Phase 3. Now look at this MCU slate. I don't know about you guys, but this just tells me they care more about introducing new characters and storylines before giving the audience any room to breathe. Back in phase 2 and 3 of Marvel, I would watch every single Marvel movie and shows. Now, I cannot be bothered to watch any Disney Plus show after Hawkeye. Yeah, I thought that show was boring. Yup, I miss Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, What If, She-Hulk. Hell, I even miss Werewolf by Night and the Guardians Holiday Special. I'm sure some of those shows were great, but I'm getting to the point where I'm getting fatigued by the MCU. Not only that, but this affects the quality of their movies, and not just in terms of the stories and writing, but in the actual production quality. This past year, Marvel has released Doctor Strange, Thor Love and Thunder, and Black Panther, and so far DC has beaten them with one Batman movie. That's because Matt Reeves and WB took their time to make the best movie possible. Listen, I'm not a snob when it comes to how visually good a movie looks. If a movie looks average but has great writing and characters, I can overlook that. However, that wasn't the case for Marvel 2022. Aside from Black Panther, which I legitimately thought was great, Doctor Strange and Thor 4 was at best mediocre and at worst, looking at you Thor, downright embarrassing. I mean, look at this and tell me this is something a movie with a $200 million production budget should have in their film. I just think Marvel needs to slow down and cut shows like Agatha and Echo, What If, and Ironheart and turn them into 1-hour specials. That way it would be easier to make and it doesn't force the audience to sit through yet another 6-hour long program. Okay, I'm done. Next. Finally, in my opinion, the most important reason why I believe the DCU will overtake the MCU, drum roll please. Yep, pretty obvious, huh? No, yeah. I believe that Disney firing Gunn back in 2019 was not only one of the biggest mistakes they've made, but it looks like it's coming back to bite them in the ass now that they let them right to DC's doorsteps. Crazy how life works, huh? James Gunn being the head of DCU is so crucial for the success of DC movies because he knows exactly what audiences want to see, and because he's worked so closely with Marvel and Kevin Feige, he knows exactly how cinematic universes work, and most importantly, how to improve on the formula. Like Kevin Feige, Gunn is a massive comic book nerd. However, unlike Feige, Gunn actually has directed multiple acclaimed movies, and in terms of superhero projects, he has not missed not one bit. I mean, look at all this. I mean, my god, look at all these movies and shows he's produced. Oh, and I'm not done. Because James Gunn is the director, he knows exactly how important a director's vision is to any movie. It's because of that reason you're going to see a vastly different looking movie from the DCU every single time they release one. Like I said, I'm not very interested in visuals as I am writing and characters. However, I'm not going to be opposed to having visually distinct movies from DC, especially if the quality is high through each of these films. But James Gunn is only half of the equation. He's just a director. And just because he can make great movies doesn't mean he can manage a cinematic universe like Feige. Both are completely different jobs. However, that's where Peter Safran comes in, because he knows exactly how to produce and manage movies. He's a highly experienced producer and he knows exactly how to work with Warner Brothers. It is a very creative and bold move from WB, and honestly, I applaud them and I truly think that this is going to be a game changer for DC. Alright, so let me know what you guys think about the video. You know, this is something I kind of been wanting to talk about now that Ant-Man is right around the corner. Listen, I love Marvel as I said before, but this video was just me kind of letting my frustrations out on why I think of Marvel this past year, and I just want them to get better. I think DC is going to do incredibly well in the next couple years. It's why I made this video and I hope to do more. So let me know what you guys think about this, and just leave your opinions in the comments and let me know what you guys think. If you guys disagree, let me know. If you guys agree, you know, just hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. All right, so let me know, and thank you guys so much for watching.